A tech company stole our voices, made clones of them as AI clones, and sold them possibly hundreds of thousands of times.
This is Paul and Linnea, voiceover actors based in New York City. Last summer, they were in the car listening to a podcast about the Hollywood writer's strike and how it might affect VO artists like them when something strange happened.
This specific episode, the host was going to interview an AI entity about the potential harm that AI will have on the entertainment industry. And he is interviewing my voice.
Good morning. Is it okay with you if I call you Poe?
Absolutely. Billy, feel free to call me Poe. As a generative AI technology...
How disturbing and terrifying that moment was is hard to articulate.
I spent 6 hours on the internet that night, searching as many text-to-speech products that I could find and listening to all of the voices that they offered until I stumbled upon Lovo.
Lovo are this company, a Berkeley-based text-to-speech platform. Just type what you want to hear.
And one of dozens of synthetic voices like this one.
Or maybe this one.
Or this one will read it back in a matter of seconds.
But once she started poking around the company's site, Linnea said she found an AI voice that sounded just like Paul.
I mean, I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. And out of pure curiosity, I just started listening to the other voices thinking, maybe I'll recognize someone I know, a colleague from the voiceover world. And that's when I stumbled upon my voice.
So in May, Paul and Linnea filed a class action lawsuit against Lovo, saying the company illegally stole their voices and identities without permission or proper compensation. The company has not yet filed a response. So how did this even happen?
So in October of 2019, a freelancing site that I'm on where I regularly procure voiceover work reached out to me asking if I would record some scripts for them.
The couple say the scripts were generic radio ads, ones the user said would never be broadcast, so they didn't need expensive usage rights.
They were quite generic. You know, do you need a dry cleaner in Idaho? We're here, right around the corner, your neighborhood dry cleaner.
Paul says about 6 months later, he got a similar request to record dozens of generic-sounding radio scripts. In messages the couple shared with the BBC, you can see the user appears to say the audio will be used for research into speech synthesis. Paul follows up to clarify whether the audio will be used for anything other than their specific research. In the next message, the user then appears to confirm the audio will not be used for anything else.
And then I asked, will you be changing the order of my audio or using it in any separate way? And they said no.
As for Linnea, she says the user she spoke with deleted part of the conversation. But in the communications that remain, it appears the user presents the scripts as test radio ads, ones that will not be disclosed externally. The couple said there was no formal contract, just these messages they've shared with us. We can't, however, verify if these are the complete conversations. In both cases, though, the couple recorded the audio, sent the files, and moved on.
We only need a person to read 50 sentences, and I believe that's something an average Joe could do.
The voice you're hearing is Tom Lee, co-founder of Lovo, speaking on a business podcast about how their voice cloning technology works.
We can capture the tone, the character, the style, the phonemes, and how you even, if you have an accent, we can even capture that as well.
We reached out to Lovo on multiple occasions to request an interview with Mr. Lee. We also asked for any correspondence or conversations they may have with Paul and Linnea. They did not respond to any of our messages.
So what's going on in the voice actor cases are a field of law known as rights of publicity. The thing that's being copied is not a piece of copyrighted work, but a piece of someone's personality, right? And so then we get these personality rights or rights of publicity where the allegation is not you copied my song or you copied my drawing, but rather you copied my voice.
The voices have since been removed from the company's website, but an ad still exists online where Paul's supposed voice clone can be heard. So I sat down with the couple to take a listen myself.
Introducing Jenny by Lovo. Artificial intelligence that makes it fast and easy to create voiceovers for marketing, e-learning, documentaries, animations, games, audiobooks, and more.
Introducing Jenny by Lovo. Artificial intelligence that makes it fast and easy to create voiceovers for marketing, e-learning, documentaries, animations, games, audiobooks, and more.
When we all thought of AI in the future, we thought AI is going to be folding our laundry and making us dinner. We didn't think AI is going to replace human beings' creative endeavors.
This case is just one of many being brought against AI companies by artists. who don't want to lose control of their work and livelihoods, and more are likely to come.
We really have no other choice but to stand up and give our energy to this, because when companies develop technology that way, it's not innovation anymore, it's just exploitation.
Imagine if you could recreate any smell that you wanted. So you could take yourself back to your youth, or you could even go back hundreds of years in time. Well, that's just what they're doing here in this lab. Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Cecilia.
Nice to meet you, Cecilia. The smells that we all experience are a mixture of chemical compounds and our perception and memories. In this lab, they're trying to bring those things together. Here on your computer, we've got a whole lot of types of reaction you could have to the smell, I guess. Does everybody react in the same way, or do you think people have different ideas of what smells of ammonia?
That is a very good question. We're not trained to talk about smells in the same way we are about visual arts, for example, or music. And therefore, we have to develop these vocabularies and train ourselves to know that when we say a word describing a smell, we mean the same thing.
If only there was a nose machine to do all that hard work. So I guess I just put my nose in here.
Yes.
Slightly sweet, delicate and sweet. There's almost something soothing about it. This is actually frankincense, a tree resin that's been used for thousands of years in religious ceremonies in the form of incense and in traditional medicine. I think my description was terrible. What do you think?
I think you did very well.
How about recreating smells from the past, ones that no longer exist or may never have existed, just from the words used to describe them?
One of the things we're really interested in is bringing back the smells of the past and presenting them to people, communicating these smells.
Using AI, they're mining 60,000 historic texts and 13,000 images for references to smells, with some astonishing results.
I have one more smell for you to experience today.
Thank you. Oh, that's quite fierce. It's also quite bad. It smells of burning mixed with poo. Oh, absolutely revolting. Quite frankly now, that's awful. What is it?
So this is the smell of hell.
It's the smell of hell.
Yes. We don't have a recipe for this, obviously, so it was inspired by a painting. And in this painting, we see Christ descending into limbo to save the souls that have gone to hell. And as he descends, we see a dragon blowing smoke and fire in his face, and there's the smokiness. There's also notes of sulfurous smells.
Okay, that's the bad bit.
Yes.
I feel quite sick.
Then you'll have to make sure you go to heaven.
This is very true. Lovely, thank you. Well, all I can say is you've done an amazing job of creating this scent because it's absolutely horrendous. Yep, it's been made using synthetic versions of compounds from feces and rotten lilies. They've used it at Museum Ulm in Germany, where the picture is on display, and this can enhance the visitor experience. Yuck. The Petrie Museum of Egyptology in London is also working with smells. As an archaeologist, how important is it to you that lots of museums would embrace this sort of technology to enhance the experience?
Well, that's a very good question. Obviously, places like these, they are important resources. Traditionally in a museum, you can see the objects, you can be provided with information. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you may have sessions where you can touch handling objects, depending. But what about smells? Maybe we can be transported to a city, a village, the workshop of a person who's working leather or wood. Or the kitchen, food, what people ate, how they did food.
Why is it so important to be able to recreate these smells?
This is important because many of the smells that we focus on are at risk of disappearing. And when the aroma goes, it's not only the smell, but also the stories, the people, the places that are connected to them. So here we use different techniques to better understand and safeguard and preserve our cultural heritage.
The world is changing, and there soon could be a day with some of the smells we take for granted no longer with us. But thanks to projects like this, we may be able to reconnect with our emotional memories with just a sniff. And that's all we've got time for. Thank you for watching. We shall be back next week. Bye-bye.